I am not blaming you. You're not in here because I'm blaming you for something. You're in here because I want to hear your side of the story. I want the backstory. Frances, listen to me. Frances. So you went to the house on Saturday.
In April 2019, a tragic house fire occurred in Montello, Wisconsin, claiming the life of 43-year-old Daniel Gil Martin inside his own home. Police quickly focused their investigation on his 42-year-old ex-girlfriend, Frances Rittmann. She had previously been in a relationship with the victim and had lived in the house. What began as a routine fire call soon turned into a complex criminal case involving conflicting statements and critical questions about the events leading up to that fatal night. This is the interrogation of Frances Rittmann.
Frances, I know you have a lot of things that you wanted to talk about. This is your opportunity. Okay?
Yeah.
So, I know you had a couple questions of me when we first started talking, so this is a little bit backwards in the way it usually goes. What can I answer for you?
I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know how they found him. I don't know. I really don't know what happened.
Okay.
I don't know, like, you know, I lived in the house. We had smoke alarms. I don't know how I didn't get out. And, you know, I wonder because when he was drunk, he'd only sleep for a little bit, and then he'd wake up again and just start drinking like he'd never fallen asleep. But,
okay. So let's start with this, Frances. How long did you know?
We were high school sweethearts. We met at, we worked at McDonald's. I was 17, he was 19.
Okay.
We dated until I went in the military.
Okay. And so where was that? Was that around
West
here?
Dallas.
West Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay.
The McDonald's was no longer in Dallas, it was only.
Okay. So you were 17 and he was 19?
Yeah.
And you both worked at McDonald's?
Yep.
All right. And then you went in the military?
Yeah.
When did you go in the military?
96.
Okay. What branch did you go into?
Army.
What did you do in the Army?
Signal communications.
Okay. And how long were you in there?
10 years.
Did you just not re-up, or how did that work?
I re-upped twice.
Okay.
I re-enlisted, and then at 10 years, I was like, I just couldn't deal with my ID card saying indefinite. And I had 2 kids, and I was on orders to Iraq, and at that point, I was like, I think my kids need me more than the military does.
Okay. So you separated in, is 07 or 9 or 06?
2005.
2005, okay. Was that honorable discharge or?
Yep.
Okay. And so,
And all of this is on, well, my whole entire, everything, my timeline's totally on my Facebook account.
okay,
Although I don't know if it,
okay. Well, Frances, again, remember when we first started talking, let me upstairs with you real quick, up front. This is not probably going to be a real short conversation. I'm not talking 5 or 10 minutes. Because like I told you when we first started talking, what's important for me to get when I'm looking at things that I know to be facts, I know what's on the phone, right? I need the context surrounding that stuff. The context doesn't start on the 19th.
As the interrogation began digging deeper into the past, investigators were not only searching for the truth about that fateful night, but also trying to piece together the full story of Frances and Daniel's decades-long relationship. Memories that had long been buried suddenly became important pieces of the case.
Doesn't start on the 20th. Okay? And unless you think I'm completely off base, you can tell me. But in order for me to get context, I need to kind of get a background outside of what's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right? So, can you You were discharged in '05. When did you come up to the area?
I moved up here August 2nd last year.
To Montello?
Yeah.
Of 18. And where did you move up here?
I moved up here to be with him.
Okay.
And he told everybody in town that he bought me a house.
Okay.
I signed for the house July 18th. I was there at the signing. We had started dating in January.
January of 18.
Yeah, we just found each other again, and it was just like we hadn't missed a beat. You know, other than just things that had happened to us in between.
Okay.
So, I mean, everything was great for the most part. I gave up my apartment in Milwaukee and I moved up here, so I put a lot of my stuff in storage, and I set up his house.
And we're talking about the house, it's the 18 Cass?
Yeah.
Okay. So from the time you went into the military in '96 until January of 18, you guys weren't in contact?
No, because he was married, so I felt it wasn't appropriate for me to contact him.
Okay. All right.
And then when he got divorced, he just kind of disappeared off the planet, and I couldn't find him.
Okay.
And but then I went to this place we had gone on a date when we were younger, and it suddenly clicked in my mind, so I looked him up, and then I actually found him on Facebook.
What was his name on Facebook?
Daniel Gil Martin.
Okay. All right.
I know he has more than one account.
Okay. So you found him on Facebook.
Yeah.
You guys
A lot of nicknames.
make a connection,
Yeah.
start dating, move up here. Tell me about your guys' relationship.
We had a lot of disagreements. He would call them arguments, but
Okay.
it was just things that,
Behind the reunion of two high school sweethearts was a turbulent life together. Frances gradually realized that the man she once loved was being controlled more and more by alcohol. Inside the house in Montello, arguments, isolation, and emotional wounds quietly accumulated like a fuse waiting to ignite.
he accused me of bringing a lot of baggage, but I'm like, you've never resolved any of your past issues, that's why you bring them up all the time. And I felt like when I moved into the house, it was just like I was his ex-wife. It wasn't even me anymore. I mean, the drinking I knew was somewhat bad, but he had dialed it down, you know, but I didn't really know how bad it was until I started living with him. And I realized that anytime he got off of work, he'd start drinking.
Okay.
And he wouldn't drink until, like, he would slow down probably 10 to 12 hours before he actually had to go to work.
Okay.
So, I mean, so it was normal for him to drink over a liter every day that he was off.
Okay. Of what?
Whiskey, brandy, vodka, and he'd mix it with soda. That would be worse, and that would take effect a lot faster.
The soda?
The soda delivers the alcohol that faster into the system.
Okay.
And it would be noticeable behavioral changes.
Okay.
So, it'd be fun. I mean, if you look at every single picture of him, he's drunk. There's
Right.
not like any sober pictures of him anywhere. And everybody knows it, and everybody ignored it. And that's where it was really hard for me, because on one side, you know, it'd be like, I don't have any friends, they all turn their back on me, you're the only one I got, you're the only loyal friend I got. And then at the next, you know, something would happen and he'd be yelling at me. I mean, just every horrible thing you could. It was like he just would turn into the devil. And his friend Ken, everybody knew around here, but he only knew him from the bar.
Okay.
Nobody knew how much he drank except me, because I kind of tried to pay attention. And he would drink, and then he'd go to the bar and drink some more, and then he'd go back home and drink some more. So, and he'd say it was to keep his sleep schedule, but that was just a crock of shit, because he would stay up all night, get off of work at 6 or 7 in the morning. As soon as he got home, he'd start drinking. Sometimes he wouldn't go to bed at all. He wouldn't eat at all.
According to Frances, Daniel lived in a cycle of alcohol abuse and self-destruction. After each work shift, he would sink into hours of heavy drinking. Those dangerous habits not only damaged the relationships around him, but also created a high-risk environment inside the home where tragedy would later unfold.
So you just stay up. I mean, we would fight about is, just how much he would drink, and then, and I'm a moral man. We both had a Lutheran background, so go on, he's a moral man, but yet.
Do you guys attend church?
We went a couple times, but he'd always say, "You need church." And I'm like, "No, everybody needs church."
Right.
So, and I tried to get him a counseling, but all he would do is say, "Well, we're not married." I said, "Put forward." That was the whole point of me moving up here, is that was the plan eventually. Instead, I couldn't do anything fast enough. So basically, I had to get my kids situated, try and set up a house. He basically wanted me to pay his mortgage. Which is like $549 a month. He wanted me to pay the mortgage, and then he would be spending $300 to $400 a week drinking.
On alcohol? That much a week?
Yeah. And it's because, the sad part, this is like the lowest point in my life. For him, this was the best he'd ever done, because since his divorce, he surfed on other people's couches. He didn't have a place to live. He just stayed with other people because he didn't hold a job for more than 9 months. Because he's an alcoholic. And everything he had, his identity came from what he had. It didn't come from his own person. And all of his opinions came from movies that he watched and other people's influence. It's like everything was scripted with him. Everything he said came from the things that he watched all the time or listened to all the time. And sometimes it's like dealing with my dad. He was so drunk.
So there's substance abuse in the family then?
Yeah, my dad was an alcoholic, so it's like I got away from it, and then I just ran right back into it. And then he'd be like, "You do this to all your guys?" And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Because, it was him that said he was going to not drink or whatever, but so he just kept yelling at me about getting a job and that I should make friends. So I'm like, you know what? The thing was, either I move up here or he moved down to Milwaukee, because it's 100 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't want to give up his job at Trianda, so I moved up here.
So he's working at Trianda?
He was.
Okay.
I mean, and I'm the one that helped him keep his job, because he'd always be like, "What day is it? Make sure I get to work."
The more Frances spoke about their life together, the more she painted a picture of a man who was unpredictable and difficult to understand. Some days, Daniel was caring, affectionate, and kind. Other times, he became angry and out of control because of alcohol, leaving the household in a constant state of tension and instability.
So you were kind of, in a lot of respects, filling the role of a mom?
Yeah, because, he'd get mad if there were dirty dishes. you know, and if I didn't stay home, he'd go after my kids. I mean, one time we had a fight, and I walked out the door, and when I came back, he had gone upstairs at 4 in the morning and yelled at my kids to come down and clean dishes. And then he was so intoxicated that he would dry them and just shove them in the cabinet and slam the door. And, like, he'd get mad if they fell.
The dishes?
Yeah. So, I mean, so when you never know what you're going to get. You never know if you're going to get Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. Sometimes he was just super sweet and caring. Sometimes he was super emotional, crying about his Jason Lemke, who died in Desert Storm.
Who?
Jason
Lemke
Lemke died in Desert Storm. He always brought it up.
Okay. And he was from down by West Dallas?
Jason Lemke?
Yeah, who's Jason Lemke?
Jason Lemke was his friend that died in Desert Storm.
Okay, all right.
That's
Okay.
it. And then he'd always say, well, I was going to join the military, but my wife said she was going to divorce me if I joined after 9/11. And then his other favorite line was, both of my stepdads served in Vietnam, and I saw what it did to them. And I'm like, well, that's not an excuse. I'm like, my family served too, whatever.
So,
I would just repeat himself. Everything from the past, every time anybody did anything that hurt him, he repeated it again and again. So,
I know there's a lot of problems. You guys had a lot of problems, right? But I know
but we also
from...
had, I mean, we had a lot of good times too.
Well, you loved him.
I did.
And that's not...
And he loved me. And
I'm not
so
guessing.
I'm just saying, so what sucks is that he was keeping it secret from everybody. That
The
we're
alcoholism?
still, well, how bad it was. I mean, and then he was supposed to be on no drink, you know, we got into a domestic dispute, and he could never forgive me that he got arrested and had to go to treatment. But then he was drinking even worse than he had been, and he was smoking even more than he had been. He was self-destructive his entire life, and everybody turned their back on him, and it was just me. And I'm a loyal person, and it goes against my moral code to just turn my back on somebody, especially when I know that they're by themselves and they're self-destructive. He was doing himself in.
With the drinking?
Well, the smoking, because I'm the one that would see him passed out and he'd have a cigarette in his hand, or he'd put a cigarette here and forget about it, or there would be holes in his clothes because I'm the one that washed them. And I'm like, you can't keep doing this. Well, it's my house, I'll do what I want to do. And I'm like, but you're putting everybody in danger to enjoy yourself. And there were cigarette butts everywhere. He'd use whatever he had available, and he'd have cans and bottles, and there was an ashtray on the front porch, there was an ashtray on the back porch, and the garage was set up to be like a man den, so he could, when it got too stressful in the house, like he didn't like being like kids doing stuff, he'd be like, I gotta go and go in the garage. So, and nobody, you know, and I watched his friends, you know, during the time frame, like, he went to go visit his friends in Stoughton, and, because that's where he went to high school. His senior year, he got popular, so.
Okay.
Most of his friends are in Stoughton. But not a single one of them came up here to see the house. Not a single one of them wanted him around. When we got into the whole domestic abuse or whatever, everybody took his side. Like, I should have just been quiet. And I was stuck here. I put everything I had into moving up here.
Frances, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, remember I said we're talking about context, right? And so, You had mentioned, one of the comments that I think that you had made was that about the phone is you should have wiped it. What I'm curious about, and this is, again, that to me, if I don't have any context with it, and I think to a lot of people, sounds really suspicious. Can you understand that? Without context. Just taking at face value. Doesn't that sound suspicious? Does it? Without context?
I mean,
The turning point came when investigators brought up phone records. Internet searches began drawing special attention. Inside the interrogation room, Frances understood that every digital trace could be interpreted in different ways depending on the context behind it.
So when I said I wanted to talk to you and get some context on things, that's one of the things that I'd like to get some context on.
for my full
To
privacy,
understand it.
that all my pictures, everything is on there. Like, I mean, I have so many pictures, and part of it is like,
So where are the pictures located on the phone?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how my phone keeps stuff.
Okay,
I mean, I just know how to take pictures.
okay.
I mean,
Are they stored locally on your phone, do you know? Or do you have a Google Drive account?
at one time I had a Google Drive, but I was at capacity because I just take a lot of pictures.
Okay, apparently if you've got a Google Drive hooked up, yes, you take a lot of pictures.
So, and I wasn't going to pay for more storage.
Okay,
So, and then I was like, I don't like stuff running in the background. My phone doesn't get the greatest coverage up here.
okay.
And it just,
So that comment that you made, that had more to do with your concern about privacy.
yeah, because I mean, my bank accounts, credit cards, I just,
Well, I guess what I'd say about this stuff too, Frances, is that
I guess, I don't know if my diary's still on there.
the stuff that we're doing, it's not for public consumption, okay? The only people that see what we get with the phone are people that need to see what's going on with the phone, okay? That's one of the things that I really try and do as part of one of the cell phone guys here, is not turn that into a spectacle, where it's like, hey, look at this. I mean, if this person doesn't have a need to be in there doing something with it, they don't need to be in there doing something with it. That goes back to me that I would want my personal things to be treated with respect and not to be out there for everybody to see. Okay? So I'll just tell you that it's not something where everybody who walks by, hey, come look at that. All right? That's not how I run things. All right? I guess one of the things that really kind of sticks out to me that I just wanted to get some context from you on, and they're the only person that I can get the context from, all right, is some of the web history on the phone. Okay? And without context, there's a lot of things on the phone that are concerning to me.
so,
I know that you and
it didn't have to do with him at all. That's what's sad. It's like, I just can't catch a break for nothing.
well, explain to me how you're not catching a break. What do you mean?
It's just one tragedy after another. It's just it's like I've been kicked down, and I just keep getting kicked down further.
Well,
So I was looking up stuff because
Once I was talking about generalities about the Google searches, can I just give you specifics about
I already
them?
know. I was looking up stuff because I wanted to commit suicide and not have it look like suicide. So that my kids would still get insurance money. Because if you commit suicide, insurance doesn't pay anything. So I was just trying, I don't know, I was doing background. I mean, it wasn't what it started out to be. Originally, I just wanted to write a book. I wanted to write a book, because, and then it just kind of morphed into that, where it's like, well, why am I even here?
Okay.
Because nothing I've done has mattered. I'm isolated.
So you had...
And everybody talking, like he's ruined my reputation. Nobody will be my friend.
If the people, Frances, if the people reading Facebook take all that stuff at face value and believe all of it, you probably don't want to be friends with them anyways.
So, I mean, instead of...
You can't be that gullible. So you said insurance. Who had insurance policy? You had an insurance policy on you?
I have insurance on me.
Through where?
Through work.
Through work?
And I know that my dad has it. He's had an insurance policy since the day I was born.
So that your dad has a policy on you, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how much the insurance policies are? Did you look into
Mine is
that?
like a multiplication from work based on my salary, but
Okay.
the one for my dad is probably I'll make him a millionaire because he's had it since the day I was born.
Okay. Okay.
And I know he has one of my brother. And
So
I know
what searches on the phone would you say were related to your investigating ways to commit suicide?
I don't know, I did a lot of them. I mean, I did a lot of different... Some of it was just curiosity because I watched Mythbusters.
Okay. Well, how long ago did you start these searches? How long ago did you start having this idea that you wanted to kill yourself?
Probably January.
Okay. All right. And when you were doing these searches, again, make sure I'm getting this in context properly. Am I missing any searches you did on another device or on a computer or anything like that, or was it all on your phone?
Yeah, it was pretty much just my phone.
Okay. And that started in January. And so what kind of things were you searching on your phone when you were looking into suicide? Like, would you remember any of the search terms you were using?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean...
Okay. All right. Can you think of anything else on the phone with your web history and Google searches that would be that you could help me with context with to try to help me make sense of some of the things that at face value look suspicious?
I have no idea.
Okay. If it's okay with you, I guess I'm just going to put a little star here for web history, so we can continue talking about that just a little bit. Some of the things that I'm involved with in this is not so much the investigation into the fire. I'm not a fire guy. I do more of the technical side of stuff on some of this, and not because I'm a real whiz-bang kind of guy, but because I'm not afraid to try. Okay? And so there are some things that we're looking at, sending out more legal service warrants and whatnot to get information back. Again, the reason for all of that, Frances.
Investigators repeatedly emphasized one thing: The truth must be built from facts and context. Meanwhile, Frances tried to explain details found on her phone that appeared suspicious, understanding that every line of digital data could influence the direction of the entire investigation.
Is to get at the truth. That's the only reason to do it. I can tell you that when the information starts coming back to me, if it points away from you, I'm more than happy with that. Okay? The facts are the facts. If the facts don't line up with something, then that something has to be adjusted to line up with facts. All right? So, I know through my involvement with this is that there's a lot of technology stuff associated with cell phones that that I'm involved with the case. Okay? And I want the truth. So, you have on your phone, you have an app called Tile?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you had that on your phone?
A while, I guess.
Okay. Like months or years?
No, it's recent. I set up for my kid.
Okay. So it finds something. Do you have more than one tile?
I don't think so. It says I do, but I don't.
Okay.
Which is weird.
So what is the tile on?
It's on my kid's keys, so
Okay.
I can find him because he keeps losing them.
And your son is?
8.
Okay. And his name is Ethan?
It's Keegan.
Keegan. All right, sorry. Okay.
I don't know why that would be suspicious.
Well, I didn't necessarily say that was suspicious. I'm just asking if you had tile on your phone. The tile application, along with Google and other programs that run on the phone, they do two things, okay? They transmit data actively, all right? So when you're using like Google Maps and you're actively using it, it's communicating data with Google, right? When you're not using Google Maps, it can also collect and communicate information with Google. It can tell things like the barometric pressure, whether or not your phone is plugged in, if it's charging, if it's discharging. It will tell you, it will give an estimate as to what you are doing. If you're walking, it'll say the chance the person is walking during this time, it's 5% chance they're walking, 63% chance they're riding a bike, whatever chance that they're in a vehicle, based on whatever kind of analytical information Google is collecting off of that phone. It's crazy. It's just kind of crazy. But it does it actively and does it passively. It does it when you're using the app and you know you're using it, and it does it passively when you don't know you're using it. Now this is a lot of stuff, for instance, that I did not know 3 days ago. Some of it I did, some of it I didn't. Okay? And so the reason I ask about Tile is because this is one of the things that's on your phone that passively and actively collects and transmits data that I'm going to be getting information back from after we submit the legal process to them. So the reason I'm asking about it is I want to know what it's on, so when that data comes back, I know what the tile was supposed to be locating.
It's my kid.
Okay. All right. All right.
It's my kid.
Okay.
So it's going to be all over the place.
Tell you what, I'm going to go grab some more. I'll be back in 2 seconds. 2 shakes of a lamb steal. You want something to drink, Frances?
I think go pee.
You have to go pee again? Do you have to use the restroom? Look at me. Frances, I'm not the guy who's going to say you can't use. If you need to use the restroom, say, Jordan, I need to use the restroom. Right? Like I said, my kids might tell you I'm difficult to get along with sometimes, but that's usually because with my kids I can be difficult to get along with. All right. So you don't remember specifically like the searches that you were doing on your phone about suicide, just that there are going to be some things on there about suicide. Were you researching like ways to commit suicide?
Just ways, I don't know, to make it look accidental.
Okay.
Which sucks.
But
So,
you're saying it sucks because it looks suspicious?
it does.
Okay. That's why you're giving me context, right? That's why you're giving me context.
The interrogation entered a particularly sensitive phase when searches related to death and fire were examined. For investigators, this was information that could not be ignored. For Frances, they were traces of a period of emotional crisis that she claimed had nothing to do with Daniel's death.
That's why I'm listening to you. All right? Do you remember, like, how you were researching, like, what type of suicide you were trying to commit? Was it a gun? Was it jumping in front of a train? Was it drowning?
It was mainly, I guess, in my car, and then I got, but I almost, I had that second where like the slab hit me.
And that was where you totaled your car?
But it was his fault. He was 100% at fault.
Okay. Which vehicle was that?
My Ford Escape.
Okay. All right.
I mean, he was in oncoming traffic.
Okay.
I had 4 cars. All I know is I had 4 cars coming at me, and I was like, well, this is it.
And so, did you ever research suicide by fire?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, most people say that you pass out before you feel the effects
Okay.
of burning. So you just aren't aware that you're dying, I guess.
Okay. So you did some research on that?
But, if you do it to yourself, though, it looks like suicide because, well, you have that accelerant, you have to have a space for it, and then I was like, well, I don't know, I just don't want my kids to find me that way.
Okay. Did you ever try it? Did you ever try to hurt yourself?
I mean, once in the bathroom, but then I was like,
What happened in the bathroom?
oh, I put some stuff in the tub. And I think it was a closed space, so the carbon dioxide would build up. But then it was like, well, it'll probably just burn out. So, time-wise.
So what did you put in the bathroom with you?
There's some clothes I hated.
Okay.
It wasn't brilliant. I know that.
So, how did you create the carbon dioxide in the bathroom?
I just figured it was coming, like, from the clothes burning. Like.
Okay, so you burned clothes in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I didn't catch that. That's why I was kind of trying to figure out. If you're in the bathtub, you put clothes in there. All right. So this was at 18 Cass, with the house here.
Yeah, but I never told him.
And I can understand that. And I appreciate you telling me. Again, this is the context.
Because he kept going on and on about he went to go live in a hotel because he wanted to drink more instead of trying to fix things. He thought this, and then he's like, well, my attorney. And I'm like, your attorney you didn't need. And then he blamed me for all the money that he wasted. And I'm like, look at one size fits all. They're just gonna give you counseling and you know, community service, which I'll do with you. It's not a problem. And then they're just gonna give you the same thing that they give everybody else, but he acted like it was the end of the world. And
so he went to stay in a hotel?
He was, yeah, they blamed it on me.
When did he go and stay in a hotel? Do you remember, like, ballpark when that was?
Probably, it was right before Thanksgiving.
Okay, so in November of 18?
Yeah, so my cousin had just died.
So, Frances, when he went to stay at the hotel in November of 18, what I found a lot of on your phone in these Google searches were things like how to get someone back. You know, 13 ways to show someone that you love them. All of these searches, were those searches about him or about somebody else?
Him.
Okay. So I have no doubt in my mind from going through those and from the talk here with you that you, even through the troubles you were having with him, love him.
I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I mean, like, this is the only lifeline I had. We talked every single day. And to me, it didn't matter sometimes if we fought because I didn't care. I just wanted to spend time with him. And now he's gone forever, and I don't know what to spend. It's like my worst fear coming true. God, because
I am truly sorry for what happened.
oh my God.
I'm truly
And now I'm being blamed for it, which is just like...
Frances, look at me.
Everyone's just...
Frances, look at me.
They want me to
No, look at me.
suffer.
Look
They
at me.
want justice for him, and I'm like,
Frances.
what about me?
Frances, I want you to hear this, because it's important that you hear this. All right? There may be people outside of here that are blaming you. I am not blaming you. I'm here because you want to take advantage of an opportunity that I've given you to tell me the truth, to give me context, to explain some things that look, and you can understand this and agree with me, look suspicious, right? I am not blaming you. You're not in here because I'm blaming you for something. You're in here because I want to hear your side of the story. I want the backstory. I need to know you guys had a relationship before. You got back together. That he had a substantial drinking problem. That you love him. That you care about him.
I just keep thinking he's gonna call me.
But you understand I'm not blaming you.
I know, but I feel like everyone wants me to be the fall guy. And I'm like, but it's...
Frances, I want the truth. That's all I'm concerned about, is I want the truth. And I really appreciate you helping me find that. Okay? I really appreciate that. Can you tell me more? And again, this is the whole idea of context and the suicide attempt you had in the house. When was that?
There was more than one.
Okay.
It's just that I just kept thinking my kids would find me.
So when you burned the clothes in the bathroom, where were the clothes that you were burning? Would you put them in something? Were they on the floor? Were they in the bathtub?
In the bathtub.
Okay. And when was the most recent? So you did that more than once?
No, I did different things.
Okay, so let's start. The burning of the clothes in the bathtub, do you remember how long ago that was?
every holiday got ruined.
Frances, listen, I know that if there were multiple times that you tried hurting yourself, that things were rough. I know you struggled. I know you're struggling now. Okay? But do you remember when this was that you burned the clothes in the bathtub?
It's probably November.
Okay. Was anybody else home with you at the time?
No, because my kids work and my one son works at Dollar General, and my other son, every other weekend he's with his dad.
Okay. So, is there more than one bathroom in the house?
No.
Okay. So there's just one bathroom, so you took some clothes, some old, you said ratty clothes?
Yeah, that's clothes I hated.
And put them in the bathtub? Is it a plastic or metal bathtub?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, it has, yeah, I didn't want burn marks.
Yep.
I don't know, I just wanted it to be me. I didn't want it to...
So how did he, just because I need to be able to explain this, because I'm sure this is going to be one of those things that people are going to say, the uninformed are going to say, that's evidence. Give me you put the clothes in the bathtub. Were they in something? Because you said you didn't want burn marks. I think once you started, you knew it wasn't probably a good idea, right?
Yeah.
Just walk me through that time when you were in such a dark place in your life that you wanted to hurt yourself, and thank God that didn't happen. But walk me through that. I mean, tell me about that day that what happened, you know? Just walk me through it, so I can understand.
It was the day that he came. He brought me flowers, which he had never done. And we spent the day together. We were intimate. We talked about future plans.
A painful memory was revisited. Frances described receiving signs of affection from Daniel, only to receive legal paperwork a few hours later that shattered any hope of a future together. That harsh contrast pushed her into one of the darkest periods of her life, emotionally.
And later the day I got the mail, and it was from his attorney saying, you know, basically he was evicting me from the house.
That he was?
Yeah, and then he called me on the phone and saying that we were breaking up.
Okay.
He completely used me and pretended everything was great.
So what happened then? So you get this phone call and he tells you that he's breaking up, and so you went in the bathroom and took some clothes.
I had a lot of clothes.
Okay.
I don't even know if I don't even know. My problem is, like, I try to forget stuff. And, to be in the present. So right now, I'm really not remembering what I did.
But you do remember that you think probably in November, that there was a time where you tried killing yourself by burning clothes in the bathroom at the house.
Yeah.
But you don't remember, like,
I don't know, like, what I, like, exactly what I did.
Okay.
Because I was just so distraught. And I just knew I wanted to, I just felt so used and betrayed.
But it didn't leave anything that he was able to see, so he would know if something had happened? It didn't leave any burn marks or anything?
No, because then I'm like, well, he'll just be mad. And I don't know, I guess somewhere I was like, I don't know, I guess I still have to leave it. I just thought, well, maybe, you know, it's Christmas still, the New Year's, and I don't know what
So, and the other times that you tried killing yourself, do you remember the means that you researched on how to do that besides asphyxiating yourself in the bathroom?
I own a gun.
A gun?
So that I really did need the research.
Okay.
He always got mad at me about that because I guess during the domestic they checked the box, but that's because he didn't understand any of the legal stuff, so he didn't realize that we lived together. So they figured the question is, do you have access to a gun?
Right.
Well, if I have a gun and you live in the house with a person who lives with a gun, you have access to a gun.
Yep.
So that got checked. So that just infuriated. He'd bring that up all the time. And I'm like,
It's all contextual, right?
I've owned a gun for a long time.
Do you remember, so you didn't have to research a gun, do you remember any of the other types of, or methods that you had researched to hurt yourself?
Well, I thought if I could get my car to fail, then I would be, I guess, in a compromising situation that would cause an accident.
Okay. Do you remember did you search like how to get your car to fail, or was there a specific search term you remember using?
I was just there. I watched the episode of Mythbusters, and
Okay.
I was talking about different stuff you put in the engine,
Okay.
or the gas tank, and a lot of it was just like. And then I just remember when I was younger, my friends putting sand and sugar in somebody's car and getting in trouble.
Okay.
So.
Did you ever research any type of poison?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that was also because I watched this movie.
Do you remember what the poison was?
Arsenic.
Okay. All right. Was that something you researched about hurting yourself?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know it's a natural occurring thing, but there was this, some Masterpiece Theater thing that came on.
You watch Masterpiece Theater?
Sometimes.
Cool.
I mean, I don't watch much TV, but sometimes something catches your eye.
Mm-hmm.
So it was about this lady that was a nurse, and she pretty much murdered every single person in her entire life. She murdered her own kids.
By
putting like, she would be their nurse, and then she would be slowly poisoning them. And then, like, by the end of the movie, she had killed like 30-some people, and nobody ever caught it until somebody went, I don't know, at that time they went and extracted all of the bodies from them.
They exhumed them from the ground?
Yeah, and then
Found
discovered
arsenic in them?
that she had killed all of them by the tea she gave everybody.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you have any arsenic in the house?
No, I never bought any or
Okay.
found it or decided to get any. I just was like, I don't know, I just remember watching them all die, and they all looked very painful. I was like,
And you thought at that point that might not be the way that you wanted to...
I just thought it would be like, ooh, no. They all died really painful deaths.
So you didn't want to do that?
It just looked, yeah.
What else can you think of as far as the Google searches that... Let me ask you this. When you were trying to get him to reinvest in the relationship, because it sounds like he was pulling away.
As investigators continued reviewing search history records, a variety of unusual topics emerged, ranging from romantic relationships to mystical subjects. Every detail was carefully examined to determine whether it simply reflected her personal life or concealed something connected to the deadly fire.
We did get back together. He just didn't tell people because they all said that he was crazy and I was crazy, and and at one time we were going to go to counseling together,
Frances, you tried other things besides just talking to him about trying to get him to come back, right? So one of the things that I found in the Google searches was stuff about witchcraft.
Oh, yeah. A lot of my friends are Wiccan.
Okay, all right.
So,
Did you ever do anything with, because there was a lot of stuff about spells for this and spells for this and spells for this, like a lot of it. Did you ever try any of them?
I mean...
Be honest with me. I'm not going to judge you because
I tried a couple of them.
What did you try as far as the spells went?
The banana peel.
The what?
Banana peel.
Banana peel? What is that?
I don't know, you write the person's name on it. And
okay.
You write your name on it. And, you say whatever, I forgot whatever you're supposed to say.
Okay. Any other ones that you tried? Because there were a lot of them in there.
I know a lot of them were stupid.
I just thought a lot of them were stupid. So, I mean, but I've always burned candles. My roommate in the Army was Wiccan, so, okay.
I mean, and then it was like, I'm not going to buy half this stuff. So I did like the simple stuff.
Okay.
Like writing our names together.
All right. Did any of the spells that you ever tried using involve any type of fire?
Well, most of them do.
Okay.
All of them do.
Did you try any of the ones that involve fire?
This with the candle. I don't know what fire. I don't know what you mean by fire.
Well, again, this is about putting things into context and how something that looks very suspicious can have a very benign explanation, right? And so that's what I'm, again, trying to do, is get the context so that when this comes up, your explanation is there also. Not just this fact, which I know this search happened, sitting there by itself, looking all suspicious and shady. There's an explanation to go along with it. That's why I'm asking about the fire, because if you did, that is the truth. You did, right? It's the context in which it happens that's really super important for me. Okay? So, were there ones that involved fire? You said you used some that had candles. Okay,
yeah,
fine, there's candles.
You do different colored candles for different stuff.
Are we talking about lining the room with candles?
No, I mean, just put them in a triangle, but you usually have them on what you call an altar.
Okay.
And you let them burn out kind of thing, or you burn them a little bit every day, or...
Was there an altar in the house?
I just use my mirror.
Okay.
So...
Laid down laid down, or?
Yeah, I would just use my mirror.
Did he know that you had that?
Yeah, he also knew I had tarot cards, and he hated that.
Okay.
Even though he had his own deck, and we would pull tarot cards, just like, I mean, a lot of my good friends are professional tarot readers.
Well, did he know that you were doing
And you know why people get so stupid about
spells?
that? No, he didn't know about the spells. You're never supposed to talk about that to anybody.
Okay.
It breaks the power of it.
Okay. So you had the spells that you did were primarily, if they involved any type of fire, they were candles.
Yeah.
On your mirror.
Yeah.
And that was in your what room?
I don't know, it depended on, I don't know, sometimes you had to face this, like, you needed moonlight,
okay.
or no light, or, so that kind of...
Did any of them ever involve, like, placing candles around him when he was sleeping?
No.
Okay.
No, I never did that.
Okay.
No, he would have knocked it over.
No, I just know that from doing some of the research that some spells require the candles to be in close proximity to the person, and I just didn't know if any of the ones that you did required that.
No, I never did that, because I knew he'd knock it over. He was a sporadic sleeper. He would sleep on his back, and his legs would, he'd flail around. I mean, a lot of times he would sleep in the bed and I would sleep on the couch.
Just because he was so active?
That, but he also grinded his teeth and snored really
Did he have
hard.
like a mouth thing that he wore?
No, he never wore a mouth thing. It would have been nice, but he really grinded his teeth. He
Okay.
would gnash them.
Anything else you can think about that that are gonna kind of jump out at me as I'm going through the searches, that I can put some context in? Like I said, I did a manual search of the phone and went through, and there's a lot of Google searches in there. I just don't remember all of them.
Well, I mean, but I'm also like, I'm a student for life. I have 3 degrees. I'm always just curious about stuff, which sucks because it can be used against me. And I'm like, I just sometimes want to know because people talk so much. And I'm like, I'd rather be factual.
Nearly an hour into the interrogation, a portrait of Frances began to emerge, filled with layers of emotion and contradiction. As investigators continued following every digital trail, the biggest question remained unanswered. What really happened inside the burning home of Daniel Gil Martin?
Well, what stuff do you think would be? What stuff do you think would be like what? As a student of life, which I appreciate.
It would just be if I saw something, if I saw an advertisement or I watched a movie and I'd be like, oh, I wonder about that, da 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 da.
So that I understand.
Even like I know there's a Google search in there for so we're sitting there watching Rick and Morty, and one of the things they were talking about the McDonald's sauce.
Okay.
That was only limited, and it was Szechuan sauce.
Yep.
In the thing, so I Googled it quick because I was like, and then it pulled up and we laughed about it because it was so funny because people started fights over it, and then they brought it back for a short time and it started riots.
Yep, I remember
for
that.
this sauce, and then we were like, and he's like, oh my gosh, he's like, I would kill for some of that sauce. That was so good. And I was like, and I called him, he got embarrassed, but we'd go to the Subway and he called it, I called him Condiment King because he ate condiments all the time. He was like, oh, you want a little ranch? You want
Do you
a
think,
little...
Frances, that's a Google search that I'm going to have to try and explain to somebody?
No, I'm just saying, I know, but I'm just saying that would be like, oh, I just saw this and I got to look it up because I want information. Or we'd argue about somebody that...
Right, and so as I'm going through, like I've got, this is from the manual view of the phone, so it's not the extraction. I've got searches in here that are very benign, like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Remember searching for the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were trying to figure out we were making fun because we're like, that's the end of Game of Thrones, but I couldn't remember the actor's name. And right now I can't remember the actor's name.
Which actor?
Dr. Frankenfurter, of course.
Not Tim Curry.
Yes, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
And who do you think he was in the Game of Thrones?
We were just saying, like, it's him at the end of Game of Thrones on the throne.
Yes, because there's a picture on your phone of Tim Curry in his drag outfit on the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was like, show this to what's-her-face because she loves Game of Thrones. They're like, this is the end. That's why I haven't watched it because I already know it.
So this kind of brings us full circle for a little bit here. When I'm talking about contextual stuff, that's what I mean, right? I mean, you have Rocky Horror Picture Show in here. There's a picture of Tim Curry in drag from Rocky Horror Picture Show. That stuff makes sense. I get that. And then there's like Google searches on, let's see, how to determine if a fire was an accident or arson.
And that was because of everyone talking about me.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, why? Everyone's pointing at me, but I'm like, well, where's all the information that it's an accident?
That's why I'm talking to you.
You know, that I wasn't able to say what was talking about himself.
And here's one that, like I said, I know that you were struggling with him. It says, not let him break up with you. Right? Because you did not want him to break up with you. You loved him.
It's just things that you could do, I guess, or, self-awareness. Things that, yeah.
And then researching how long an autopsy takes.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because I figured I wouldn't get any information because I'm not next to the kid. And I just wondered, because he was burned.
Okay.
And I talked to the coroner, and he said that they would be doing an autopsy on Sunday. So I was kind of like,
just curious as to the time frame.
yeah, and
it's completely not this.
and I had to give him all the information.
You may not have been his next of kin, but you were certainly his significant other, so I can understand wanting information. I'm not faulting you for that.
About the dentist and if he went to the doctor and if he had tattoos or any piercings, and I was just.
Then you have a search that was, at this point I think it's probably 10 days ago, but that was for the arsenic poisoning. And you said that was because you were researching that as a method of possibly hurting yourself, right? But that didn't pan out because it looked like it was too painful.
Yeah.
But that's just a more recent search than, I think you said November was when you were thinking about doing that. So can you help me put some context on that to link that somehow?
Because of my brain
Okay.
is always working on stuff.
Okay.
And I come back to it.
Okay.
So, I always describe my thinking process of when you're at an airport with a train station.
Okay.
And everything just keeps updating, and you see all the, that's my brain. It's going, oh, well, this is arriving here, and that's arriving there, and then I gotta go over here and connect over there, and it's...
Fix mean selfish, guys.
Yeah, he was being really...
Do squirrels eat birdseed? Do squirrels eat birdseed?
Oh, yeah, because the neighbor was feeding the squirrels, and there was a squirrel living in the house.
In whose house?
In the house that we had been living in since November.
At 18?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was like, she's feeding the squirrels that are living in our house. So I was just wondering, is she giving them actual squirrels? They were always on her feeders. So I was like, is it birdseed or is it just for squirrels? Is she contributing to the problem in the house? Because you could hear them all the time, and I have supersonic hearing, so I could hear them scurry, I could hear the stuff in the wall
Yep.
fall.
I hear the same thing in my house, to be quite honest with you.
So I was like, I'm losing my mind because I'm not sleeping because I'm listening to squirrels when I should be sleeping.
More than likely not a squirrel.
Not a squirrel?
Not a squirrel like you see, like a squirrel with a big bushy tail. More than likely what they're commonly referred to as sugar gliders. Little tiny things. They're a type of squirrel, but they're really small.
No. This was that big black.
Was it? Where is he getting in?
Huge. Because, and I know this is because, okay, so when we looked at the house, we walked into the kitchen, I looked up at the ceiling, and in the corner there was this giant water stain.
Yep.
And when I asked the realtor about it, her eyes were as big as saucers. I never forgot that moment because I was like, and she was really quick to be like, oh, well, that's taken care of now, so, and then she was like, and I was like, and then when the squirrel issue started, they basically rolled back in, and then I was like, oh, that's
Did you know what was coming in the house, though?
Yeah, up in the right, so the kitchen, the water spout was there, so they would run up, let's see, so the bird feeders are all along the back fence, and she's got them all, and they would run up the tree, and then they'd run up onto the garage, and then they'd run up along the siding.
So the black squirrel was always running up and down the siding.
Is there a hole?
But he was getting in by that area and it caused that water spot and that water damage. And then he was between the upstairs and the downstairs.
Okay.
He like owned the place. So he got in where the kitchen was in that right-hand corner and then that room, but he was all the way. I could hear him in my kids' room, which was that second back room, and I could hear him, like if I was on the front room, I could hear him in the corner, I could hear him over here, I could hear him in the side wall, I could hear him in this wall, and I would bang on it and be like, just shut up, and like, but you could hear it.
Any other issues come from the squirrels that you're aware of? Other than annoying you and not letting you sleep?
Well, I was worried because I had a trap, and he's like, well, I'll get to it. And I'm like, but I said, he's making a nest, he's chewing on whatever the hell he wants to, and it's the known cause of fires. I told him that, you know.
Well, how did you know it was a known cause of fires?
Because they chew on everything. They love wires, and wires have current, and wires, because my mom had the issue for 4 years in her house, and oh my gosh. So it was my room that got demolished.
Did you ever share with him any like research articles that say, hey, squirrels can
We would
squirrel?
talk about it, but then he's like, well, that's my pet squirrel. It's the only friend I have, and it's my house. And I'm like, okay.
Well, do you remember researching anything on
I
your
researched
phone?
it a few times.
Okay.
I mean,
did you ever share that with him and say, hey, look, he even says here?
well, he didn't want to hear about it.
Okay.
He hated that part. It was like he had to one-up me. He'd tell me to just be quiet.
So where were you guys in your relationship? Were you guys pretty solid at this point, or were there some issues?
We went back and forth. We went around in circles. We'd be good, we'd be bad, we'd be good.
But just recently, from what I'm seeing and here, it doesn't look like it was great. One of the searches is he wants breakup, but I still love him.
Yeah.
Was he pushing for a breakup?
It's just because all his friends just kept saying stuff.
Spells to regain trust. That's the Wiccan stuff. Trying to get him to.
Well, and that was because he just kept saying he didn't trust me. And I'm like, but I've done everything I can to fix the things that you think that I did against you. And I'm like, you're a Lutheran. You should understand forgiveness. And I'm like, I forgave you, but you just want to keep rubbing my face in it like I'm a dog.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here about reasons why he should take me back. How to tell a man you want to marry. You guys talked about getting married?
Yeah, he kept promising me the rest of our lives to just wait for him to get off of deferred prosecution, and you know that he just needed time. But he'd go back and forth, and then
Reasons for treating me bad. Marriage spell.
Yeah, I never did it.
Yeah, I mean, again,
He made me all these promises, and then when he was drunk, he'd be like, well, you can't believe what I say when I'm drunk. And I'm like, but you could enter into any law-abiding contract. He's, don't lawyer me. And I'm like, I'm not lawyering you, I'm just finding fault in your reasoning.
so a couple ones that I just wanted to ask about. Again, this is to put context on stuff. You had searched in here, is alcohol a good accelerant?
That was just about, that was Mythbusters, they had a bunch of drinks on there.
Okay.
That, and I always wondered, like, considering how much alcohol he consumed, I just wondered, like, what would happen to him?
What happened to him? What?
Well, I mean, like, he was always had alcohol next to him, by him, in him.
Okay.
I just wondered, like, you know, if he fell asleep with a cigarette in his hand and I wasn't there.
What would happen?
Like, would it affect him more? I mean, I was just... I mean, but also, it's also me, because... I don't know, most of it's just... I always wonder, too, because people always make all those drinks where you put... They light the alcohol on fire and then they put it in a drink, like a Irish car bottle and stuff.
So when you research that reasons for alcohol is alcohol with an accelerant, did you then go to other pages to look at it more?
Well, there was like a lot of different drinks. I was at the bar at the time. I forgot what made me even think about it.
Okay.
I was at the bar, and somebody was talking about fancy drinks that you light on fire.
Okay, so you're at the bar?
Yeah. So, I mean, I had a few drinks and just...
Was he with you?
No.
Okay. All right. I wonder if we could just, again, to try and get... There's a little bit of a question as far as the day of the fire. Okay? That you, and this is where I'm a little not 100% sure, because like I said, I'm not the primary guy on this investigation, so I'm going to have to, I need some of your help to get this lined up a little bit. But you left, did you have an apartment where you were staying?
Huh?
Did you have an apartment you were staying at, like 41?
Yeah.
Okay. And so on the 20th, right, the day of the fire, you went from there and you went to Dollar General.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And so you went from your apartment to Dollar General, and if I remember correctly, when you had spoken, I think, to Brian Ropicki, you said that you'd gone from the house, or from the apartment, sorry, to Dollar General, shopped there, and then came back. Is that right?
I guess so. I mean, the problem with Saturdays is I don't pay attention to what I do.
Okay.
I mean, it was my day off. I didn't have any kids to worry about.
Okay.
So I really I don't keep track of time. It's the only day I can, like, ignore stuff, I guess.
Okay.
And I didn't get really good sleep. I barely got any sleep.
Okay. Well, I can understand that. I don't necessarily keep track of the times when I'm on my days off either. So that I understand.
So I can't even think of what time I other than knowing my receipt, that's the only reason I know, like, what time it was there.
Okay. Do you remember what time that was?
My receipt?
Yeah. If you don't remember exactly, it's fine. But let's not worry about the times then.
Yeah.
I understand times can be tricky. Let's not worry about times. When you left it's 41, what street is that?
Just downtown.
Okay. Your apartment downtown. You came this way and went past the sheriff's department, went down Park Street to church? Was that your route of travel?
I think so. I mean, I wander, so, I mean...
Okay.
because there's the waterfall there, so it's pretty. And I always found the water to be comforting.
Okay.
I mean, that's one of the things I liked about here.
Okay.
That's what he liked about, too, was the waterfall and the church bells.
Okay.
at play.
So I don't want to put words in your mouth here.
Yeah.
So if I'm misstating this, this is where you...
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what I did. It's just, I'm pretty sure that I was in my own little world, and I walked down there and I walked back.
Okay.
I got stuff to clean, because I was thinking about my mom's visit, my kid coming back, getting ready for the work week.
Do you remember what you got when you were there? When you had the receipt, was it like, did you have 5 or 6 bags, or 2 bags, or 1 bag? Do you remember like how much stuff you had to bring back with you? Did you buy a lot of stuff? Or?
I bought cleaning supplies.
Okay.
Because I was going to clean before my mom came, and I did some cleaning.
Okay.
It wasn't stellar because...
Do you remember how many bags it was?
At least 2.
Okay. All right.
I bought some drinks for work and some food for work.
Okay.
Some stuff to clean the house. Some stuff for my kids.
So you bought several bags worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Cleaning. Okay. And then your route of travel was from your apartment downtown. You didn't go by Quick Trip, though. I mean, you came this way across Park Street.
Yeah, I don't think I was downtown.
Okay.
Because that hill's harder than this one.
Sure.
They're different grades.
Yep. Yep.
So
So you went across Park Street. Did you stop anywhere else on your way to the Dollar General? Did you go to a friend's house? Did you go swinging in the park?
well, I know I looked at the park because I think there was a baseball game going on. And then there was this guy that kind of flirted with me.
Well, did you walk up to the park?
Oh, I was like in, I don't know, there's like no, I didn't go like on the playground. I mean, I was just kind of, there's water.
Which park are we talking about? The park by the school?
There's a diamond right there.
If there's it's on the street right here, you know, this is Park Street?
No, I don't,
Okay, well, that's Park Street.
Okay.
Okay? And there's a granite wall along Park Street when you get by the high school, and there's a baseball diamond right there. Is that the park you're talking about?
Yeah, there were people there, and there were some cars.
Okay, so that would be Park Street. So you walked down there,
Yeah.
and then went up to the Dollar General and shopped for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. Left there. Do you remember the route that you came back?
Probably the same way. I mean, with bags in my hand, I was just like thinking about getting back.
Okay. And so when you were walking back, coming back to your place,
I heard sirens and stuff, and I saw that there was a fire. I mean, I knew there was a fire, but I also was like, I don't want to know that it's him. I don't want to know. And I also was like, it could be anything. It could be, in my mind, it was like, it could be leaves, the guys burning the leaves next door, because they're always burning stuff. The school had been on fire at one point. I was, in my mind, just going down the list, and then the other thing in my mind was, it's none of my business. It's none of my business. I don't need to know anything that's going on right now.
so you went past that, you went to your apartment. When did you become aware that something had happened?
I was just cleaning. I was cleaning my apartment. I was listening to music videos. I think I went and somebody dinged my phone, and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "Oh, you're alive. You don't know about the fire?" And I'm like, "Oh, Diane called me." So I hadn't heard from Diane forever.
Okay.
She called me and she's like, "Oh my God, are you still?" She didn't know I had moved out.
When did you move out?
February.
In February?
Well, I mean, officially January 31st.
Okay.
My birthday, which I was super sick, super not with.
So you moved out in January 31st?
The polar vortex, the worst, coldest day of the year.
That was when you moved?
Yeah, and then I couldn't get anybody to help me, and I had to go start my car every couple hours.
Well, when was... So you moved out January 31st. On Saturday, did you go over to can I call it Daniel's house? I mean, you still have a connection to it. Are you okay with me calling it Daniel's house? Or can I say, did you go over to the house on Saturday?
Well, the problem is I was there until 4 in the morning.
Okay, so from Friday going into Saturday morning?
Yeah,
Okay.
we hung out from 4 to 4 basically.
Okay.
He called me at 4, let me use his car, go get my stuff out of my total car. I mean, I already told him that.
But after you left his place, the house at 18 Cass, at 4 a.m., you didn't go back there on Saturday?
No.
Okay, all right.
I mean, at 4 a.m., you know, he got mad because he knew I took something. Yeah, I took a bottle of alcohol out of, and I was gonna dump it, but he caught me like in the cabinet, so I just quick stuffed it in my bag and got on my bike and left, which he got mad about.
Okay. And you took the alcohol because you didn't want him drinking it?
Because he'd already drinking the one giant bottle, and he was already halfway through the vodka bottle, and I was like, I just thought it would help him not keep drinking.
Okay. I understand that.
So, but I had to, and that's why I had to leave, because I was kind of stuck.
So that's why you left on Saturday at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because usually we would spend the whole weekend together. We'd lay in bed, talk about stuff we were going to do.
Prior to that Friday, at 4 o'clock, do you remember when the last time you were there?
Monday.
Okay.
That's when
So you weren't there the entire week?
No.
Okay.
Monday I gave him, I wanted to give him his Easter present because I had gotten him a cross.
Okay.
And I was trying to get him to help me with the car situation, which that's what he was doing. Because the other car that's in the driveway was supposed to be for me. He's like, that way we have a backup vehicle because we've both been having car problems, and at least you have something to get around until you can figure out another ride. You know, it was his way of helping me because I'm so screwed right now.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. So you got him a cross for Easter. You went there on Monday to give him the cross, right?
Yeah.
How did that go on Monday? Did you guys do okay?
Oh no, I don't know what happened. I know I ate a sandwich, he offered me a burger.
But you didn't go back that week, right?
Yeah, well usually I don't know, something, I have no idea.
It's okay.
Well, usually we did Taco Tuesday, but he went and got tacos without me.
Okay.
And I tried to call him because I was going to go get tacos. And then he said it was busy for him because he went shopping down in Portage and stuff. And I said, oh.
So he's kind of ignoring you during the week then.
Well,
If he went to get tacos without you.
I know,
That's
and
not
that
cool.
was our first, that's the biggest thing about, what do you call it? Taco Tuesday is that was like our first date. That's where we went on our first date, and that became our date every Tuesday. So they would know, what is it, Jeff's Rivers, that's not the Rivers, I don't like their tacos. I always, Lakeside Taco Tuesday. Like, they know that we'd order the same thing, it would be without onions because I'm allergic.
Oh, I wish
So.
I'm so glad I'm not allergic to onions.
So, anyway, but yeah, I was really hurt because he went to Portage, and I'm like, you know, I just lost my car, I don't have a way to get around, and you couldn't offer me a ride so I could get some things I needed. I mean, I was just really hurt by that, you know, and I tried to get him I'm like, you're not working, you're up in the morning, you can't give me a ride to work. I mean, 'cause I was really banged up from the car accident.
Yeah, I'm sure. It looked
I
like
still have bruises, they haven't healed. I mean, in my head, you know, got hit really hard.
Can I ask you about another thing that came up, just so I can get, because I don't have a lot of information on it because I don't have a lot of people to talk to about it. The couch in the garage. I know that Brian Rapicki asked you about that, but if you knew anything about what happened to the...
I don't. All I know is that it was mine, and now it's not in any shape, I guess. He called my mom to yell at her about it, and I'm like, and the problem is I had been up 24 hours, so when I finally got home, I was really, Saturday is such a bad day for me to be a great historian because I had been up for so long, because I'd worked that day, and I'd pay rent. So Friday I know what happened really well, but Saturday just kind of like sleep deprivation had kicked in. So I was kind of in a daze where I wasn't as coherent as I usually am. So all I know is that he was calling and yelling about something, and I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Okay.
And I blew it off. I blew it off because I was like, you know what, you're drunk, you always yell about me at something, it's always my fault, I'm just, whatever, I'm so exhausted right now, I can't do anything.
So the burnt couch in the garage, did you have any part in that couch being burned up?
No, I didn't even know that anything had happened until he said something.
Okay.
And I was like, and he just was going on, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So you weren't responsible for any of the fire in the garage?
No.
With the couch?
And I was just mad because I was like, why do you blame me for everything? He never locked his doors. I said, you know, anybody could have been, you could have been in your garage in a drunken state, you know, and I was wondering what had happened, but I didn't want to know in a way. I was like, you know what, I'm just so done right now.
All right. And that, again, do you understand why I'm asking you this?
Yeah, because he made all these accusations that I did this to him.
And I want to hear your side of the story.
And, you know, and I'm like, and...
But you knew it on Monday.
Yeah.
For giving him the cross. You didn't notice anything.
I didn't, to me,
Because the outside of the garage, it had like some soot on it from the fire that had happened there. You didn't notice any of that on Monday?
No, I didn't see anything, because I really, I came over there, he met me at the door, and I went in the house.
Okay.
So, I mean, I was like, you know, just, I don't know, blinded.
Okay.
I mean, we went out to the car and played with all the buttons. We couldn't open the hood. I mean, I wasn't, when I was there with him, I really didn't notice other things. I just paid attention to him.
Okay.
Which makes me feel really stupid.
Well, tough things happen. You know, I know that
I mean,
so, Saturday, you're over, you go from your house down Park Street to Dollar General, do some shopping, get some cleaning supplies, come back down Park Street carrying at least a couple bags of stuff, go to your apartment. Do you remember how long you were there before you got the phone call?
Nobody talked to me till like after 4 o'clock.
Okay, all right. And who is it that called you, and the first person that you communicated with you that you knew that there had been something that happened?
Joanna.
Who is it?
Joanna.
Joanna?
No, Joanna. She was hanging out at Tam Bear's, and everybody was talking about it, and...
She called you?
She called me through the Facebook.
Okay, on Messenger?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's like, oh, you're alive. She's like, I saw you on Facebook. She's like, because everybody thinks that you're dead. Because there was a rumor that there were 2 body bags taken out of the house that was circulating, I guess, for a couple, from the time that they saw a body bag taken out. I don't know who saw a body bag. But, and then they're like, and it's fact because the guy that works at the bar, he was at a family party with one of the first responders who told him that there were 2 body bags. And I was like, you know, so that was the rumor. There was a woman and a man.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, really? And I was just like, well, maybe they think because there's 2 cars in the driveway. And it was, I mean, to me, it was possible, because I'm like, no, I left at 4 in the morning, he could have had anybody over. He could have had anybody over, because he had people over that I didn't know about. I mean, he bought a car while I was out running my errands, you know, and I never saw them. He bought a car, I came back and there's a car. Or the truck, whatever. So, I mean, he had people over too. So, I mean, and it's his place, so I didn't know everybody he had over. So I was like...
Let me ask this then. Would there be any reason the guys went and did a neighborhood canvass today and went around and talked to all of the neighbors? They had these forums, they had all the questions to ask. Is there any reason that any of the neighbors would say that they saw you at the 18 Cass Street, the house, on Saturday prior to the fire being started?
I don't know. Such a... This makes me look so terrible.
The truth is the truth. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. That's the only reason.
I know, but I'm being blamed for something I didn't do.
I am not blaming you. That's not what I'm doing, right? I am trying to understand, to make sense to some things, because I want to believe what you're telling me. That's my job. That is my job. Have I pointed my finger at you and said anything that I haven't? It's not what I'm doing.
I was saying that I did this stuff, but I didn't. And I just...
Let's back up.
I know.
Is there any reason that any of the neighbors, and again, it could be a very plausible explanation to it, but is there any reason that any of the neighbors that were talked to during the neighborhood canvass would say that they saw you at the house prior to the fire being started on Saturday?
I just wanted to see what he was accusing me of.
What do you mean?
The garage. He accused me of... I loved living in that house with him. I never wanted to see anything happen to it. And he promised me that after the deferred prosecution was over, it would be... He just needed time, and that we would get back together, and that...
And that wasn't happening.
That we would live there again.
And that wasn't happening.
What do you mean?
From the searches in here, it doesn't seem like that's the direction that he was going.
He said he was just frustrated.
Okay. So you did go over to the house on Saturday before the fire, right? Is that what you're saying? All I'm looking for, Frances, is for you to be honest with me. The truth is going to come out. And I would rather hear it from you. So, you went over to the house because you wanted to see what the garage looked like because he was blaming you for that?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's... Frances, look at me. I understand that.
Before he died, and I keep thinking,
Frances.
well, what if I had been able to save him?
Frances, listen to me. Frances, it does put you there before the fire. But let me explain something to you.
This is why somebody's accusing me of.
Frances, like I said from the beginning of our talk, this is all about context. There's a plausible reason for it, right?
They accuse me of.
Because you wanted to see what the garage looked like. I understand that. That makes sense to me.
But I didn't do it. I don't know what happened. All I know is that he's accusing me, and I'm like, I would never do anything like that. I would never risk. Oh my God, I believe this. I'm a single parent because I couldn't get an abortion, and that was shameful enough because I'm a Christian. Oh my God.
So Frances, listen, this is important. I want you to hear what I'm going to say. Listen to me. Frances, so you went to the house on Saturday to see the garage, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
there were probably 20 seconds, maybe 30.
Okay, well then I'd ask you this follow-up question. Is there any reason why one of the neighbors during the neighborhood canvass is going to say that not only were you at the house on Saturday, that you went into the house? This is the thing that we need to get in front of. I need to hear this from you, because it's all of these things that you're right, without context, don't look good. But if you went to the house because you wanted to see the garage, because what he's accusing you of, that's something I understand. That's something that I think a lot of people can understand. I would want to know what I'm being accused of too. That's the part that I need from you, okay? So again, I'm sure there's a reason that you went into the house, but I need to know what that reason is. I need to know what the reason is. And the only person I can get that from is you. I need you to help me with that. Because it's one of those things sitting out there that has to be explained. And you're the person who can explain it. You're the person who can put the reason behind it. That it wasn't a nefarious idea, that for whatever reason, which I don't know yet, I know now that you went to the garage, and I know why you went to the garage. And that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I know that you wanted to be with him, that you love him. From all of these searches, you did not want this relationship to end, and I can understand that. I've been in a relationship that's gone south, and I know how hard it is to let go. And not wanting to, and fighting to the bitter end, doing everything you can to get that person to love you again. And the frustration that goes along with it. Friends, I have been there. I know that. But I need to know from you the truth. I need the truth. Because that's not going to change. It's not going to change. So again, why did you go into the house? What was the purpose of going into the house? What did you go into the house for? Was it to check on him because you were concerned because he knew he was drinking again? Was it to confront him about the lies that he'd been telling about you? Was it just to see him because you hadn't seen him since, maybe when you left on Saturday morning, you left because you'd gotten in a fight because of the alcohol and you wanted to say sorry? These are all plausible things, but I don't know which one it is. You need to help me with that. I can't put a face on this. Why did you go into the house? Help me with that.
I was going to leave him a note that I was going to pay him for the car as soon as I got paid on Friday. And I wanted to know if he had drank it all the vodka, which was in the kitchen.
Okay.
And then I went and checked the dryer because I wanted to know if the clothes had gotten done, if I had left anything.
Okay. You started some laundry when you were there?
Well, that's what our agreement was. I always did his dishes, and then he let me use the laundry.
Okay, so you went in and checked to see if he left any clothes?
I thought I had left some socks,
Okay.
and I was always losing socks.
All right.
It's kind of bothered me because I'm running out of socks.
Sure, I got it.
And I knew he was sleeping, so I just left. But I didn't know if he was sleeping. I mean, I just thought he was. I didn't really go in the whole house.
So where was he? Where was he when you went in the house?
I'm not really sure, because I just went in the back.
So you came in.
I came, I looked at the garage, and I was like, oh my God. So I wrote him a note that I didn't do it.
Where'd you put the note?
He had a notebook. They always kept the list.
Okay.
So I put it in the notebook. I said, I didn't do this. Please know that I didn't do this to you. And then, I knew they had finished all the vodka because there were a bunch of beer cans sitting there. And he never drinks beer unless he's out of hard liquor.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, my goodness.
Okay. So you checked to make sure that, but you didn't. So you went in there and saw that he had finished the vodka, and there were beer cans. So you knew he'd been drinking a lot. You didn't go to check and make sure that he was okay.
Well, I don't know. I didn't want him to like get mad at me that I was there.
So you didn't even
So
peek in and check and just to crack the door a little bit and hey,
No, I
there
didn't.
he is. He's
Well,
okay.
I just was.
So how long, Frances? How long were you in the house?
I don't know. I was barely there a minute.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I went looked at the garage. Couldn't believe what I saw. It overwhelmed me. I went in and I wrote a note and I left it.
In his notebook?
Yeah, there was, I mean, he had paper everywhere.
Okay. So you left him a note?
I left him a note, I didn't do this, please know I didn't do this. And, I don't know. I just...
So you think you were in the house maybe a minute?
Yeah. I wasn't there that long. I mean,
Frances, my follow-up question, I think you know what my follow-up question is going to be. This is what I've asked the last 3 times I've asked about being at the house. You know, being at the garage, going into the house, and how long are you in there? You know what my follow-up question is going to be. Is there a reason then that a neighbor that we talked to during the neighborhood canvas would say that you were in there longer than a minute?
well, I mean...
I'm trying to, you know,
I'm just, well, I mean, like I said, I went and I checked the alcohol. I knew where he kept alcohol. He stashed it in different places. So I wanted to know how much he had drinking since he had taken the bottle. I had taken one of the bottles.
Okay.
So, I mean, I went, but I only went in the back of the house. I went in the kitchen and I went in the bathroom. And I wrote him the note, and then I was like, and I left because I knew he was mad because he had called my mom and yelled at her.
Let me ask you, which door did you go in when you went in the house?
Well, I went in the back.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
And so when you came in the back, you didn't see him there. So you started looking around because you saw beer cans, knew he had drank all the vodka, or the hard alcohol.
Yeah, and I didn't...
So you started looking around to see if there was any other bottles around with the intent of what was your intent if you found those bottles?
I just...
Were you going to take them with, dump them out so you wouldn't drink them? And what was the reason for looking for more alcohol?
Yeah, it usually was the dump.
Yeah, because you don't want him drinking.
And he would...
When he wasn't drinking, I'm guessing he was much easier to get along with.
He was a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean...
That's why you took the alcohol that morning, because you didn't want him to drink anymore. You came back that afternoon, come inside the house, there's beer cans, you know all the hard alcohol's gone, so you're searching to make sure that there's nothing else left in the house, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't check to see, you didn't check him?
Well, I heard snoring.
Okay.
At least I think I heard snoring. I mean, and he always had the TV on.
Snoring from where?
Well, I want to say his bedroom.
Okay.
I mean, but he always had the TV on.
Okay. Okay.
So I just figured.
So you heard snoring. It sounded.
Well, I thought I heard snoring. I
Okay.
know it's heard the TV, and I was like, okay, I just need to leave because if he
Wakes up, he's gonna be pissed.
yeah, and he's gonna yell at me, and I don't want to be yelled at.
That is completely understandable. It's completely understandable. And so I want to thank you for being honest with me about going to the garage and going to the house. That's one of those things that, separate from the neighborhood canvas, was something that I was going to find out anyway, is based on one of the warrants I had to write. You know, Google tells me if you were at the house, I can get that information. So I'm glad you told me that. 'Cause I know that...
He just keeps thinking by speed, like, I don't know what happened.
So, Frances, the fire happened on the afternoon of the 19th, on Saturday. Right? Sorry, the 20th. Saturday the 20th.
Yeah.
Okay? And so, when I'm going through the Google searches, one of the things that I find, and it would have been a search that was done on the 18th, is alcohol a good accelerant and reasons for slow smoldering fires.
That looks really damning.
Well, let me just say this, Frances. I know there's a reason for everything. There's context for everything. I know that you and Daniel were having problems. I know you love him. The vast majority of these Google searches are how to keep a relationship together, how to fight for it. That's what I find in here. I know that that's not the direction that was going. I know that he wasn't reciprocating that. He went out for tacos without you on Tuesday. That's not what somebody does who is showing interest in it. He blames you for starting the fire in the garage. That has to be very hurtful, that he would blame you for something like that. When you go to the house to see that, what am I getting blamed for? You go in the house, you write him a note that says, I didn't do this, please don't blame me. Because you are not letting go of this relationship. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying you are fighting for this relationship. You go into the house, you write this note. You don't just go into the house, write the note, and walk out. You're checking for alcohol bottles because you know that he's drinking because the beer cans are out, and that means the hard alcohol is gone. Everything I'm saying so far is true?
Yeah.
You find no alcohol bottles as you're looking through the house. You know you hear him snoring, at least you think you hear him snoring, and the TV is on. Okay? What I think is going on here, Frances, is I think that you are, and this is why I need your help. You want him to know you are there. And I'm not just talking about I'm physically here right now in this room with you, but that I am here. I came up here, I moved up here for you. I sold everything I had to make this relationship work. I've done everything I can to make it work, and it's not. When the fire happens in the garage with the couch, I appreciate you saying that you don't know how that started. But one of the things I think that's going to prove out during the course of the investigation, and with the samples that are taken from the couch, and knowing that it wasn't an accidental thing, that fire was set with the intent of getting his attention. That when you went in the house on Saturday, you went in there with the intention of talking to him, trying to work something out. I'm sure you left a note. I have no reason to doubt that. I have no reason to doubt that you looked for the alcohol because you wanted to make sure that he wasn't drinking anymore. What I don't know, Frances, is not if the fire happened, because we know that happened, but why the fire happened. I don't think that what happened was an intentional act, that the intent was to hurt him. It was to get his attention. It was part of one of the spells that you were trying to work with him to get him to not leave you. But at no point was it to hurt him. That I believe. That I wholeheartedly believe. But the idea that you'd said that you weren't there, well, we know that you were there. And unless the intent was to kill him, and I don't think that's what the intent was. I think it was something that happened on accident. What I don't know at this point, and what I will get back sooner than later, are records about your phone usage. When you go to the Dollar General after stopping at the house and you're shopping up there, I'm very curious, and I believe that I'm going to find on there are phone calls to him. That you got to Dollar General and wanted to make sure that he was okay. To make sure that he was awake. To make sure that he was out of the house. That you weren't just going to leave him there. That the intent was to make him know that you are not going to be forgotten. That he just can't leave you and turn his back on you after all the things you've done for him. It wasn't something you did. Your intent wasn't to hurt him, was it? It was just an accident. You didn't intend on hurting him. I don't believe that. But you have to tell me. That's what I don't have. I don't know the why. Frances, I believe you when you tell me that you love him. I believe you when you say that you are a Christian woman. I found the searches in there. I believe all of that. I don't think this was not something that you had thought about for months and months on end. What happened? What happened? Frances, what happened?
I smoked one of the cigarettes. I don't smoke. I flicked it in the trash and I thought it would set off the fire alarm. I thought it would wake him up. Oh my God! I thought it would wake him up. They both work. I always made sure that the smoke detectors work. I don't know why they didn't wake him up. It died with him. It died with him. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Frances, that's what I thought. I knew it wasn't something that you did because you wanted to hurt him. Did you ever hurt him in your entire relationship? Did you ever hurt him?
No.
No, that's not you.
He accused me of hurting him. I'm like, no.
So you smoked one of the cigarettes. Was there a purpose to smoking one of the cigarettes? Was that sending a message to him, or what was the reason behind that?
He always said the only buzz he ever got was off the first cigarette he ever had. And then after that, it was just irritated. I mean, on occasion we would smoke marijuana.
and then he'd be super sweet, super kind. It would mellow him out.
So you smoked it for a buzz?
No, I just... Why are you so addicted to it?
Do you remember which garbage can you flipped the cigarette into?
There was one in the kitchen, but he had a garbage can in every room of the house.
Okay. So was the one in the kitchen that you flipped it into?
I didn't go in the whole house, so I don't know. It
Okay.
probably was, because I didn't...
When you smoked the cigarette, was that in the kitchen, or do you remember what room that was in?
It was like the doorway.
The doorway?
Yeah, between the kitchen and the dining room.
Okay. And he didn't wake up when you were smoking the cigarette?
No.
Okay. So you flipped it into the garbage can in the kitchen?
I just left.
Okay. Was it like a big garbage can? Like the kitchen garbage can where you put the kitchen stuff?
Yeah, right. It had all sorts of papers, but it was right below the smoke alarm.
Okay. So there was garbage in it, paper and stuff like that. When you flipped it in there, the cigarette was lit. Your thought was that the garbage can was starting to fire. You knew that was going to happen, right?
I just thought it would smoke and set off the alarm, or set off the smoke detector.
Okay.
And he always said that he, like, I don't know, like, always talked about his instincts and how I'm a Wolverine and Captain America.
So when you threw the cigarette in the garbage can, when you left, there was some smoke coming out of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it was, it wasn't, I mean, it was just,
Frances, all I'm looking for is the truth. That's all I've been looking for from the beginning. That's all, like I said, I'm not blaming you. It's not what my intent is the truth. That's all I'm looking for. So when you left the house, there was smoke coming out of the garbage can?
yeah, just like a little, just like a candle, you know, has a little bit.
But more smoke than a cigarette would make.
No, it was just a cigarette. It wasn't like anything.
And so you left there, and you went to the Dollar General?
Yeah.
Okay. So how long do you think you were inside the house? Really?
I don't know. A couple minutes. I mean, like I said, I went to the kitchen.
So you didn't go in the bedroom and knock him unconscious?
No. I didn't go in the bedroom.
You didn't go in there and hit him with the frying pan?
No.
You didn't poison him with arsenic?
No.
Yeah, I know. You left, you went to the Dollar General. What did you do at the Dollar General? Did you call him?
His phone was disconnected. I couldn't call him.
Did you try calling him from the Dollar General? Or did you already know it was disconnected? I'm just looking for the truth because, like I said, it's information I'll get back. I just want to know, did you try calling him from the Dollar General?
I couldn't because it was disconnected. That's why I went to leave him the note.
Okay. So, you're at Dollar General. You're in there for how long? Do you remember how long you were in Dollar General? A period of time. You're in Dollar General for a period of time. You leave there, you start walking back. What do you see?
people.
You knew that it wasn't good though, didn't you?
Oh my God. Not like, I wasn't crying super hard because I don't know, I still believed that I don't know, I thought he got out. In my mind, he was okay.
Did you lock the door when you left? To his house?
No. He always...
Did you barricade the doors or anything like that so he couldn't get out?
No. The doors were all open.
Okay.
The windows were open.
Be right back. Frances, here. When was the last time you checked the smoke detectors in the house?
Pretty much never was there.
So you checked them on, did you check them on Saturday when you were there between, 4 o'clock and 4 a.m. or with Monday, or was it before that sometime?
Probably like...
Was it within the last month?
Yeah, I mean, I always make sure.
How'd you test them?
Just push the button.
Okay.
And then it turns off. It does a couple beeps.
Did you ever have to service them?
No, they just, I made sure the batteries are still good.
Okay, so
There's one upstairs.
they were battery operated ones. They weren't hardwired into the house and didn't need a battery.
Yeah. No. They were battery.
Your battery.
They're stuck on the wall.
Okay. And so there was a smoke detector directly above the kitchen garbage can where you threw the cigarette?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was it was right there.
Okay. Same room, in the same kind of area?
Well, it's just on the other side of the doorway. It's right there.
Okay, so the garbage can's here, there's a doorway, and then the smoke detector's on the other side of the doorway?
Oh, I mean, it's still the same wall.
Yep.
So, this is smoke detector, the garbage can, there's the doorway, and then the garbage can would be here.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, not spatially like this, but...
Okay. And so, you throw the cigarette in the garbage can, see the smoke coming out of the garbage can.
Which it was just the cigarette smoke, so...
Well, but I think it's reasonable to assume that you throw a cigarette into a garbage can full of, that has paper and combustible materials in there, that it's going to start on fire. So what did you think was going to happen when that fire starts and the smoke detector doesn't go off? Well, what would happen?
I probably did go off. I probably just didn't hear it. But I heard him hack away. Usually he'd wake up when he hacked away. And then he'd hack, and then he'd get up and go to the bathroom.
But Frances, you knew there was the possibility that if he did not wake up, if he slept through that smoke alarm, that he would die. I know that wasn't your plan, right? At that point, you hadn't. That wasn't your plan, but you knew that was a possibility. This is where we have to be honest.
No, that was not.
You've done some the searches in here where you're searching about slow smoldering fires. Alcohol is an accelerant.
But I didn't.
And then you throw the cigarette in the garbage can, which causes a slow smoldering fire.
But there wasn't anything to make it burn hot or fast or anything. There wasn't anything to, if there was no alcohol, there was no...
I know that
there was nothing...
You were the victim of a lot of things in this relationship. You're the victim of domestic abuse. You did, it sounds like just about everything. You were his mom. You were his caretaker. All of these things. And I'm sure that was a lot of weight on your shoulders, a lot of things to deal with.
That isn't family.
No one's there to help you.
They hated on me for getting him treatment, even though that's what they want.
And then, how does he repay all of that?
But I didn't want to. I just.
He kicks you out of the house. You move into an apartment down here. You've been separated him for over a month. Going on 2 months, you guys have been separated.
But we still spent time together.
Now on Taco Tuesday, he shuts you out. And then,
No,
and then
yeah,
at the
and then
date,
he apologized, and then he offered me a taco the next day,
which I'm sure has happened in the past. I'm sure that he's been a jerk to you and apologized and everything's going to be fine. He's a jerk to you again. It's a revolving door, especially when he's drinking. And then the day before the fire, you're looking, and the reasons for slow starting smoldering fires most often occur when smoking materials such as cigarettes. That's the Google search. And then next search next to that is alcohol a good accelerant?
But I didn't do anything with it. I just was like...
Why not?
I didn't...
Frances, did you put anything in the garbage can?
No.
To act as an accelerant to make the fire burn faster?
No, I didn't put anything
So when the
anywhere.
samples come back from the state crime lab and they're testing the remnants of that, they're not going to find any indication of
There's no
accelerants?
accelerants anywhere. That was not my... I never did anything with alcohol other than pour it down the drain.
Okay.
Pour it down.
But then in researching the slow smoldering fire, that's what that was, right? The garbage can was a slow smoldering fire. And then when you go further down here, can contain toxic chemicals like carbon monoxide and cyanide, which is something that you had researched prior.
What, cyanide?
Yeah. Sorry, arsenic. But you knew that this was going to cause, that chemicals would come off of it, right?
I knew that arsenic was naturally occurring. I mean, part of the reason why the arsenic is, it's in our soil all the time anyway. We're exposed to it all the time.
We're exposed to radiation too, but when you get too much of it, it's not good for you, right? The same
I
thing
know that.
with arsenic. But did you poison him with arsenic?
I never poisoned him.
Okay, so when the tox comes back, there's not going to be any arsenic in his system, right?
No, there's just going to be a lot of whiskey and a lot of vodka.
So when you went back over there and you went into the house and you smoked that cigarette and you threw it in the garbage can and walked out the door, knowing that there was going to be a fire started by it, right? And hoping that smoke detector was going to go off, that he would wake up, and that was going to send him a message that you can't walk out of my life. That the reason for all of this was to let him know that you can't treat me like this anymore. You cannot treat me like this anymore. It's gotten to the point now where this is what's going to happen. Friends, the couch in the garage that burned up, I know that was a fire that you started to send a message to him, and he did not get that message. That's what happened with the garage. You're trying to, and that doesn't send a message to him. So if he doesn't get that, you'll hear this message when there's a fire in the house. And you wake up, you can't turn your back on me after everything I've done. I understand that. I can understand that frustration. But you have to be honest with me about the fire in the garage, with the couch. Because when Brian Ropicki is talking to you about that and he asks you if you know anything about it, there's this really long pause, and you said, no, not to my knowledge, and then you say, well, it's my couch. Be honest with me about the fire in the garage. Was that a message too? Was that just a message? I mean, you said that in the garage because you, again, did not want to hurt him. Be honest with me about the garage. The truth is, all we have, Frances, is the truth. That's all we have right now. And you get one opportunity to tell the truth. And put a face on it. What was the purpose of setting the fire in the garage if it wasn't to send a message? Because you didn't set that fire with the intent on burning his house down, did you? Was that to send a message? What was the purpose of the fire in the garage? So what did you do? Was your intent to kill yourself in that fire? I know you suffered a lot of injustice in this relationship. I know you were victimized time and time again. I know you were hurting. I know you were hurting.
I kept blaming everybody else. I never took responsibility for anything.
And when you blame everybody else, I think a lot of that blame fell on your shoulders, didn't it?
Yeah, because I was the only one there.
You were the only one there. Everybody else turned their back on him.
And then they all made me the villain. And now I am.
So what happened with the couch? What was your intent? What were you planning on doing when you started that on fire? Was that going to be your funeral pyre?
I don't know. He kept complaining about my stuff still being at the house, and I'm like, but I don't have a car, I need to take stuff out. And I don't think
So you lit the couch on fire to say, if you don't want my stuff here, fine, it won't be here anymore. Was that the reason behind it?
Then he kept saying I owed him all this money. And I thought he'd get his insurance money and he could fix all the stuff he wanted to take care of. And he would have the money that he claimed that from victims.
So you burned the couch in the garage to try and help him out.
And I know that sounds really stupid. This sounds so stupid. This is really nice.
So your intent was to start that fire So the garage would burn up, and he'd get an insurance claim out of it. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
How'd you start the couch on fire? Now, I know the answers to some of these questions, so I want to know you're telling me the truth. How'd you start the couch on fire?
It's the lighter. It's the grill lighter.
Okay. What'd you put on the couch?
No, it took the stuff for the grill.
The what stuff for the grill?
The stuff for the grill. I don't know what stuff you put on coals.
The lighter fluid? Is that what it was, the lighter fluid?
Yeah.
Is that the bottle that was sitting right next to because there was a grill there and there was a bottle of lighter fluid. Was that the lighter fluid you put on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I figured my fingerprints on everything anyways doesn't matter.
So when did you start that on fire?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Was that a couple of days before the house, or was that like a week before?
I don't know. I really...
But he didn't confront you about that and it was on Facebook that he confronted you about it, right? Or did he call you and yell at you about that?
Yeah, he called and yelled about it. But I don't know, there was a time lapse in there that I was like, I forgot about it.
Okay.
I forgot about it, and he never even went in his garage to notice.
Was that at night or during the day that happened? Do you remember? Was he home?
I don't know. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
Was that in April?
Yeah.
So it was in the month of April? Okay. And you're not sure if he was home when you said that?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Because...
You put some lighter fluid on it, lit it on fire. You said that your intention was, were you going to stay in the garage and get burned up with it?
I thought about it.
Okay. So you started on fire, how long did you stay in there with it before you left? The couch was on fire.
I know.
There's smoke.
Yeah.
And you decided that that's not what you wanted. You didn't want to die at that point, right?
Yeah, and
so you left it.
I
Is that what happened? I mean, that's all.
I figured it would burn out because this...
Yep, that's fine. I mean, it was to try and get some insurance money for him. Because even after the times that you have been victimized and abused through this relationship, you're still trying to help him out.
I was just trying to fix the things that he thought were, that he was upset about.
So Frances,
So he was always upset about money, and he was always upset about...
listen to me for a second. That's the second time that we have been talking tonight that you've told me that you tried killing yourself with fire. You told me that you tried killing yourself by lighting a fire in the bathroom in the house. You tried killing yourself by lighting the couch on fire in the garage. And I truly and honestly believe that what happened on Saturday when you went to the house is that you went in there and you started the fire in that garbage can with the intent of staying in there and burning up with him. That you wanted to die with him. You can't live without him, and your intent was to stay there and die with him, and you just couldn't do it. And when you left that house, it wasn't a small roll of smoke coming out of that garbage can, because your intent was not to leave. Your intent was to stay there and die with him. And even after all the things that he did to you, you couldn't bear the fact of living without him. And you wanted to be with him forever, and that's how you were going to do it. So when you left the house, I'm sure you were panicked and scared.
It wasn't.
Was your intent to start the house on fire and burn up with him? Did you start the fire with the intent of dying in that house with him? You told me earlier that you wish that you had died with him. You wish that it was you. Did you start the fire with the intent of dying with him in that house?
But it doesn't. I thought that I'd be able to save him.
How are you going to save him? What? Explain to me what you mean by you thought you could save him.
We were supposed to save each other. We both had shitty lives. He told me all the promises to me that he was going to be there for me.
That wasn't happening.
And then he just kept bad-mouthing me to everybody. And then everyone else's word became more important than mine. And he would never listen to me when I gave him.
Did you set the fire with the intention of dying in that house with him?
No, I thought I'd come back. I thought I'd be able to come back and save him.
So you wanted to come back to the house and have it be on fire and pull him out so that he would see that you were the one who saved him and he would love you because of that? You wanted to come back and to save him from the fire? Is that what you were planning on doing? Is that the truth? Is that the truth? That's all I'm looking for, Frances. Just get it off your shoulders. This weight is going to crush you. Just tell me the truth.
Yeah, I wanted to die with him. And then, I don't know, I just wanted to live.
So, Frances, did you throw a cigarette in the garbage can? Is that what started the fire?
Yeah. But it wasn't like
So after you threw a cigarette...
There was some paper, but there wasn't a bunch in there.
Okay.
I thought I would just set off the smoke detector. It didn't just light up crazy.
Did you see any flames in there?
No, there were no flames.
So after you threw the cigarette in the garbage can, how long did you stay in the house before you left? If your intent was to die with them...
Yeah, but I changed my mind and I was going to come back.
Okay. So...
But I didn't think everything would just go up so fast. And then I was at dinner, like, just like, I went there, I was just gonna go there for like a second and then turn right around. Because I know they have security, so I knew I'd be on camera.
So why didn't you?
I just totally lost track of like I spaced out. It's so stupid.
So you start the fire in the garbage can, go to Dollar General, and forget about it?
I forgot about it. I just had so many different thoughts. I couldn't think. I couldn't focus. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't latch on to one thing.
So your intent then was go to the Dollar General, stay there a couple minutes, come back, and pull him out of the house and be the hero.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be hated by everybody. I was sick of him lying about everything. He made himself out to be the victim after all the things he did.
So Frances, did you go there with intent on killing him?
No. God, no.
Your intent was to start a fire and die with him in the house? And now once you threw the cigarette in the garbage can to start the fire, changed your mind and decided you didn't want to do that, right? But your initial intent was to die with him in the fire. That's what you said.
Yeah, I was going to go upstairs.
What happened that you changed your mind?
I don't know, I couldn't make up my mind about anything. I just couldn't think straight.
Okay.
I just couldn't think straight.
So you didn't actually go upstairs?
No, I just thought about it.
Okay.
I just had so many different thoughts about everything.
You still have to use the restroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about my kids? Now my kids are home.
We'll figure this out.
I mean, can I at least, I don't know.
Frances?
I'm not going to go
Can I make
anywhere,
one-
and I'm worried about,
Frances?
being taken to custody.
Frances, we're going to get the bathroom, okay? I'm going to go out there and make sure I got somebody out there that can help, and I'll be right back in, okay?
On the 11th of September 2024, Marquette County Judge Mark Slate sentenced her to 45 years in prison for first-degree intentional homicide, along with multiple serious arson charges. She is currently serving her sentence at a Wisconsin correctional facility and does not have a release date in the foreseeable future. Throughout the interrogation, Frances consistently maintained that despite their troubled and complicated relationship, she still had feelings for Daniel. The case became one of the most shocking and controversial cases in the area. What do you think about this case? Be sure to subscribe to the channel to watch more crazy and fascinating videos uploaded here every day.